placid smile graces her lips. Atop her head sits a magnificent crown, from under which long locks of hair fall over her body in waves. She holds two tails, her own, in each of her hands, and gazes at you from under green surroundings as if she knows you. You probably know her too. That's because she's the Starbucks logo. The company's founders, inspired by their native Seattle's proximity to the ocean and Herman Melville's classic tale of seafaring and adventure, Moby Dick, were flicking through the pages of a marine book when they came across the figure of the twin-tailed siren in an Old Norse woodcut. In the 50 years since, Starbucks has refined, polished, and simplified her, and she looks sleekly modern today. However, you'll find she has a long, storied history, infinitely rich in its many twists and turns. Go back all the way to Homer, and you'll encounter the famous sirens of the Odyssey, whose singing was so enchanting it could lure a sailor to his death. These early sirens were pictured as bird women, and it was only in the 7th century Liber Monstrorum, Book of Monsters, that they were described as having the tails of fish. The figure of the two-tailed siren, in particular, may have arisen from a conflation between depictions of sirens and depictions of Scylla, another of the Odyssey's dangerous female monsters. Homer originally described Scylla as having 12 feet, 6 heads, each with 3 rows of razor-sharp teeth, and a voice like the yelping of dogs. Of course, because this was most definitely not sexy, subsequent generations did some refining and polishing of their own, and by the time of the Etruscans, the ancient people who lived in central Italy before the Romans, she was frequently depicted on urns, tombs and vases, a more positive symbol of the bridge between our world and the other world. In the late Middle Ages, the French writer Jean d'Arras borrowed from Celtic oral tradition to produce the Roman de Melusine, the story of a beautiful woman, Melusine, who was cursed to transform into a fish from the waist down every Saturday when she bathed. As a nobleman was hunting in the woods, he saw her, fell instantly in love with her, and asked her to marry him. She accepted, on the condition that he could not see her on Saturdays. He agreed, but of course his curiosity got the better of him, and when he peeped through the keyhole, he was astonished to see her transformation. He kept his transgression secret for a while, but one day, after an argument, he blew his cover, blurting out that she was a serpent. She turned into a dragon and flew off into the skies. Arras's retelling of the story was so popular that it spread through Europe like the plague. Noble families claimed descent from Melusine. Who wouldn't want to be related to a mermaid dragon? And the 16th century Swiss physician and philosopher Paracelsus used her as a potent alchemical symbol. She came to represent enlightenment, uniting the worlds of Christian and pagan, natural and supernatural, mortal and immortal, mythical and everyday. Because of Tuscany's Etruscan past, you can easily spot the twin-tailed siren there if you know where to look. Head to the medieval town of Barga, where twice a year locals experience an amazing phenomenon. As the sun sets, it shines through the door of the town's Duomo di San Cristoforo, Cathedral of St. Christopher, illuminating an area of the left-hand side that remains shrouded in darkness for much of the year. Near the top of the wall, a carving will swim into sight, that of the two-tailed siren, as mysterious, mesmerizing, and mutable as ever. If you go to the other end of Tuscany, to the archaeological park outside the charming village of Savannah, you'll discover the tomb of the siren, one of the best decorated and most interesting of the area's tombs. Like the lady on your Starbucks cup, she faces you directly, drawing you into her world of hidden knowledge, duality, and the supernatural. Like Odysseus and his companions, you'd be powerless to resist.